All right, Mr. G here. I am going to introduce my good friend Michael to you. We met at VCFA, which is Vermont College of Fine Arts, several years ago. We were both in pursuit of our master's degree in music composition. And our friendship has been a very unique one. Pleasantly so for me. When we first met, within the first couple days or so, we found out a couple things about each other. One, he found out I was a conservative Christian. And I almost hate to use labels like that because I really don't think I meet most people's definition of what a conservative Christian is. But having said that, I do call myself that because when I say conservative, I mean I really stick pretty close to a narrow definition of what the Bible says as a Christian. And I'm willing to discuss that later on down the road. But anyway, that's what Michael found out about me. But what I found out about Michael really blew me away. He told me he was an atheist. And I remember him saying one time, gosh, it's weird that we're friends because I thought Christians didn't like atheists. And I thought, yeah, it's weird that we're friends. I thought atheists didn't like Christians. Michael was one of two genuine atheists that I've met in my lifetime. And by that I mean this. He wasn't angry. He wasn't an atheist because he was angry at the church or what the church had done or what Christians have done. We've done plenty, I know. But he was an atheist by conviction, by study, by research. And to him, that was really the only logical conclusion he could come to, that there was no God. I'm okay with that. That's a solid intellectual response and reasonable and reasoned response. So we had many conversations over our time back and forth with VCFA about this. But you know what? All our conversations weren't just about that. We became friends. Michael is a gentleman. He's soft-spoken. He thinks deeply. And he goes after truth, which to me is remarkable in anybody. And I enjoyed having him as a friend because if all you do is surround yourself with people who are like you, you become very narrow-minded and you become sometimes wrong in your approach to things. By having friends like Michael in my life as an atheist, he kept me honest. I would say something off the cuff and he'd call me on it, which I appreciate. That's why I'm calling this series of lessons that we're doing Iron Sharpens Iron, because that's what happens when two friends meet with each other. Iron sharpens iron. Mike sharpens me, and hopefully I sharpen him. So I never pushed my agenda on Michael because I respect him. And I've never been comfortable being that kind of a Christian. And so when he messaged me this last week and said that, thought you should know, I could no longer consider myself an atheist. I don't know what I am, but I'm not an atheist. There's just too much proof out there in my life that something else is going on. Well, then I took the witness's approach because in my mind, it was like I had been called to the witness stand. And I said, can I tell you what I believe, more about what I believe? I will share what I know and what I believe with you. And if you're searching for a spiritual path to walk on, I'd like you to consider the one I'm on. He said, I'll do you one better. I do have questions to ask. And I've already done a survey of the Bible course. Whoa. But then again, that's Michael. He pursues truth. I believe he's a brilliant man. He's a talented musician and a composer, and he plays these incredible Indian instruments, which I dearly love and wish I could play. But he pursues truth. He's a gentleman, and he has never imposed his views on me, and out of respect, I've never imposed my views on him. That's what makes this friendship so incredible. So here's what I want you to know about Michael. He is on a spiritual path. And we are going to examine this spiritual path by going through the Gospel of John together. I suggested the Gospel of John for one reason, because Michael is a seeker of truth, and the Gospel of John is the most consolidated gospel of the four Gospels, which centers just on one basic fact. He writes it toward the end of his Gospel. He says, I've written these things to you so you might know that Jesus is the Son of God. John's purpose was to present things that he hoped would convince those who read it of who Jesus was. So that's where this friendship has taken us. And again, as I said before in my prologue, I am not going to debate Mike, and he's not going to debate me. This is two friends exploring a spiritual path together. Yes, I'm on that spiritual path, and I believe it to be true. If I didn't believe it, I wouldn't be on it. But I also believe that God is big enough to convince Michael on his own. All I have to do is be a witness and speak to what I've experienced and speak to what I know. I promised Michael that I would not, here's the word, BS him, but I won't hold back. I'll be as honest with him as he has always been with me. So here's what you need to know about Michael. He's a gentleman. He's a seeker of truth. He's brilliant. And I love the guy. I count him as one of my dearest friends. I wish we lived closer together, but thankfully, due to the internet, it's like we're in the next room sometimes. So there you are. That's Michael.